It's that time again, Israel. It's the Lord's 54th annual Passover in North Carolina.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh?
The ISUPK, under Commander General Yohana, will be hosting the Lord's 54th annual Passover in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Convention Center. This is something that you do not want to miss. Make sure that y'all bring the entire family.
Wait till I get with you. If I gotta go to ground, I'ma shut the town down. I ain't about to stop until I hear sand down. All you gonna see is a lot of man down.
The Downtown Raleigh Convention Center. For Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Go to isupk.com to purchase your tickets today. $200 per every adult over the age of 17 years old.
We are not the same. No, we not related. I'm not stuck on living. Death is a vacation. My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout.
The
We just want
Lord's
the grace.
54th annual Passover, April the 1st, is coming down to Raleigh, North Carolina. That's right. Commander General Yohana has done it again. You don't want to miss this. Pull yourself. Pull yourself.
Yeah. On 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit. Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin on kindness. I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dawg. So I brought these chimney sweepers. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we run it, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till death do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dawg? Guns and butter, baby boy. UPK top, dawg. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line van to a damn tank. I got chopper stash in that attic like they Anne Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See I'm throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in, I ain't show no mercy.
the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died, y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Like, he got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice.
Back row.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one that is not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'ma go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They ring got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye, peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a gang, these niggas lame, they bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim.
Tell him runner he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laugh at these niggas once again and I ain't break a sweat. Number one at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this, janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk, I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl, I'm talking about another gun. Head now, hey look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas, we burn the crib now. I'm ahead now, and I hope they can head now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga, I don't fear clowns. Silences make it sound like raindrop, that's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war, I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex, that's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga, I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
Bust their head.
ODing on a beat, Narcan flow. Got my... We outside. We outside with it. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. But before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. Now, loaded, it's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I got the world in the palm of my hand. One West sleeve stretch, do it live on the gram. Had a whole world viewing, click and subscribe. Had them niggas off the block, tell them shooters they want a job. I just put them on the payroll. When I get control them, I just mold them like they Play-Doh. Soldiers giving halos, trying to get up at them pesos. 40 cows send you out of space, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, leave you all boxed up, all cause my delivery. I be on that prime shit, take you time to get with me. Got me like Vladimir, treat you like the Ukraine. Raise your little city, now you boating like Usain. Scope costs more than the rifle, I got new aim. Fresh kick, spit with the blick, not my shoe game. Used to have a dirty 30 tied to a shoestring. Now I got that Ruger 5 and 7, that's my boot thing. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. I don't talk hardly, be there when you call me. Send them Philly clippers at your head like a Baldy. Chopper get to roaring down your block like a Harley. No, this ain't a big hog, this the big dog.
In your city, swinging through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the water wading, marching to my cadence. Big bursts of thunder in my hands like I'm reading. Shitty Mortal Kombat sounds, but I ain't playing.
Look 'em in the eye before the war like a weigh-in. I'm up in the AM, politicking movements with that Draco from the vid because it's proven. Waiting on my brother out of bed, he ain't do shit. That's how life go. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a big nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come back, pull up with a gun strap, rob everybody outside, told him run that. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. My Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. It's one West for that bag and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. We outside, and we outside. Outside, outside, yeah, we outside. We outside, outside, yeah, we outside. It's One West on them corners, and we outside. We outside, outside with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They just head on, nigga.
Pray where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lines is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Nigga think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop to stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is it fact or fiction? If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get him crack as hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I came to do damage, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Perry. How you real trickin' on them dots, you a bird feeder. Claiming he a demon, was a demon to a cult leader. When he said something, I ain't hear him, this shit life work. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you won't never get that hand back. Bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brother's blood. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my bread, still I think that's all that I enjoy. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy. This shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. 12 rounds hit hard, and this shit gon' go the distance. Way to exit cool, but wait till you see the interest. Know that we them niggas when we walk inside the entrance. Put me as the GOAT, you should be honored to get a mention. All my clips is standard, but I still get extensions. Switch on the big 30, sound like when it's spittin'. Album so hot, I had to give them an extension. One West till they bury me. Yeah, that's the commitment. Don't trust the soul, niggas purring or they hissing. Been winning so much, they didn't think I put the fix in. Get the game to go my way, they gon' thinkin' that I rigged it. If I say it in my raps, I would do it or I lived it. What you say in your raps is entertainment, you just kidding. Hard times, I got tired of being broke, so I fixed it. This pole get the job done, nigga, this is stick shit. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. The life that I chose, no turning back, we in this. They don't understand till we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, shit is endless. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. This the life that we chose, no turning back, we in this. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, this shit is endless. Reincarnation, so you know this endless. I'm solidified and stamped, that's why I walk with a signet. Build it from the ground up, did it all independent. Don't put your head in my business, to the wall I'm appended. They say I walk around like I'm perfect, bitch, I'm sinless, blameless. And if you ain't the same, I'm against it. Was born with the shit, the other half, I'm just gifted. 20 on me, wish a nigga would so I could spend it. Start from
the branch, then I ain't at the soil. You got a peer on me, that'll leave your family tree spoil you. Can't catch you, then I get your man, make him lure you. The only comp is me, and I'm trying to be cordial. I feel like I'm royal, you interchange with the mind. I love a 10 with a sexy walk, but I'll take a switch with a 9. Gear up and go crazy when they tell me it's time. Empty the whole clip.
You get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brother's blood. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I'm not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my bread, still I think that's all that I enjoy. The way I get it boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
This shit is endless, what I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. 12 rounds hit hard and this shit gon' go the distance. Way to exit cool, but wait till you see the interest. Know that we them niggas when we walk inside the entrance. Put me as the GOAT, you should be honored to get a mention. All my clips is standard, but I still get extensions. Switch on the big 30, sound like when it's spittin'. Album so hot, I had to give them an extension. One West till they bury me, yeah that's the commitment. Don't trust the soul, niggas purring or they hissin'. Been winning so much, they didn't think I put the fix in. Get the game to go my way, they gon' thinkin' that I rigged it. If I say it in my raps, I would do it or I lived it. What you say in your raps is entertainment, you just kidding. Hard times, I got tired of being broke, so I fixed it. This pole get the job done, nigga this is stick shit. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. The life that I chose, no turning back, we in this. They don't understand till we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, shit is endless. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. This the life that we chose, no turning back, we in this. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, this shit is endless. I believe in reincarnation, so you know this endless. I'm solidified and stamped, that's why I walk with a signet. Build it from the ground up, did it all independent. Don't put your head in my business, to the wall I'm a pendant. They say I walk around like I'm perfect, bitch I'm sinless, blameless. And if you ain't the same, I'm against it. Was born with the shit, the other half I'm just gifted. 20 on me, wish a nigga would so I could spend it. Start from the branch, then I ain't at the soil. You got a peer on me, that'll leave your family tree spoil you. Can't catch you, then I get your man, make him lure you. The only comp is me, and I'm trying to be cordial. I feel like I'm royal, you interchange with the mind. I love a 10 with a sexy walk, but I'll take a switch with a 9. Gear up and go crazy when they tell me it's time. Empty the whole clip to the last shot like the game. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. The life that I chose, no turning back, we in this. They don't understand till we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, shit is endless. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. This the life that we chose, no turning back, we in this. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, this shit is endless.
Clap it up.
Alright, Shalom Israel, y'all Bashimi Ashai Barakatam to the brothers, y'all Shamar Latam Bashimi Ashai to the sisters. This is the ISUPK, the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commander General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any organizations. Israel, pay your taxes.
That's right. That's right.
So we coming to you live right now from Twin Cities, Minnesota, No Cowards, Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Right.
Precinct Officer of 1,000 among the bar. I got with me Precinct Officer of 5,000, Precept King Maccabi. We got Trooper Kawan Yala.
That's right. That's right.
So you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's go. So now we're still dealing with the repercussions of Black History Month. Everybody thinks it's like that was such a grand innovation, like we benefited so much off of that. When it's in real life, it's a mockery. So, in the spirit of rebuilding what we had lost, how to rebuild this kingdom. Now we can get into different conversations about what the kingdom is, according to the Bible. We're not doing this in accordance to what we think or feel the kingdom is. Like it's written in the Bible, so we can have that conversation too. But as far as the brothers and the sisters in this respect too, as far as the people putting their brick in, the work that needs to get done to establish the kingdom before it happens. So what I'd like to start off with is Zephaniah 2:1 chapters, Zephaniah 2:1 verses 1 through 3. Get
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together, ye, gather together, O nation, not desired.
So I mean that's at least the first step, to gather together, O nation not desired. So I mean nobody but us, but so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians get pressured as hard as we do to be all inclusive. No other nation gets pressed to do that. They get to keep their own culture, their own family names, even after colonization. Before, during, and after colonization, they got to keep their family names. Some of them took on their oppressors' names. Not to say that they didn't go under oppression either. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they get to keep their culture. They had the choice of if they wanted to conform to colonial westernization, dress, theology, mannerisms, culture, like just their practices versus their traditional lifestyle. They had that option. Even the Irish, as people want to complain about, well, the Irish went into slavery, the Irish are still mixed this, that, and the thirds.
Right.
Like they still got to keep their names.
Right.
And they were allowed to go back home. They still got their own country. They got their own government. They got their own ordinance. You know what I'm saying? Like they got their own land that they came from. We came from a land too. We don't get to go back to that. Somebody else owns our land right now. We got pushed off into another land. We went to another land.
Right.
Somebody else came over here and claimed that too. And then they put us on these small little chunks of property. If you look at how big America is versus how small the reservations are, I would hope it would instill some type of empathy, in the viewers. But maybe because you've never been there, maybe you just don't know how crucial the living environment is,
right.
The quality of life out there is. But if you've ever been to the ghetto, if you've ever been to the barrio, if you take that, with Blacks, Hispanics, and then the reservations with natives, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So something to take into consideration, being that nation not desired, that we should at least gather together so we can open up these discussions. Keep going.
Verse 2, before the decree bring forth.
Before the decree bring forth. Now that decree that we talked about a few classes ago is when is the promise that was given to Israel. That covenant that was bestowed onto Israel, where we are going to rule everything under the sun, under the Most High in Christ. Before this, how would I say? Before you cast your vote for the wrong party, before you have to learn about life the hard way, before you got to learn about loss the hard way, before you got to learn about who you should have been allegiant to the hard way, before all that, gather together as a people. Keep going.
Before the days pass, as a chaff. Before
as a chaff.
As a chaff, Salakia.
You got it.
Before the furious anger of the Lord come upon you.
Before the chaff passes, the furious anger of the Lord come upon you. You know what I'm saying? Before he decides to check you for that fentanyl, maybe let's put the fentanyl down.
Right.
Maybe let's stop freebasing on the St. Paul and Minnesota train lines while other passengers are on the bus. Maybe let's just stop freebasing altogether as a people. Now again, these directives are given to Israel first. The rest of the world is going to fall into subjugation of the Bible under the Most High. But first and foremost, gather together, that nation that's not desired. We need to heed this word first, because it's only talking to us first, and it's telling us how to delegate these rules and regulations down from that hierarchy. The Most High, Christ, Israel, everybody else in their mind. So it's important to understand the order of operations. So now, how looking at some of the issues that we have in communities: drug abuse, alcohol abuse, domestic abuse. How do we address these issues? Gathering together first is a part of it. Not just trying to hold like a council meeting, but there are mental health issues that need to be addressed as well that we have certified counselors to address. Right. And we have to look at this practically, hence UPK, Universal Practical Knowledge. So looking at the issues that we're dealing with, the drug epidemic, the fentanyl epidemic, I mean, that's a step or two above the opioid epidemic in our day and time. It happens quick, it happens fast. They lacing everything with some fentanyl, everything. It's less noticeable during traffic, but it's detrimental. It hits so hard, and we're losing brothers and sisters left and right as a result of this. Other nations are losing people too as a result of it. They're not. How would I say it? Drug dealers are looking for profit in any neighborhood, under any demographic.
That's right.
So they're targeting everybody on earth. When you look at the infrastructure of the drug trade established in America, in the cities, it started with the ghettos. It started with the reservations. It started with the barrios.
That's right.
They didn't push that into Mayberry. You know what I'm saying? The Carvers, Leave It to Beaver, they didn't have to deal with this stuff. It was targeted to a specific people. And then it just proliferated because their this oppressive government establishment does not even care about its own. Keep going. But so before we got to realize how detrimental and how volatile that lifestyle is and that affiliation is, we need to hearken into the word of the Most High. Right. We need to gather together as a people. We need to sit at this table. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. Bro, we need to talk about this one. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about that Bible that the brother got in his hands right now. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about our future. We need to talk about our history, our present, and our future. Past, present, and future is what we need to gather at that table to discuss. Being that nation I desire, because do you think China really wants to meet with some niggas and spics? We can't do nothing for them but fund their corner stores and feed their opium plants. They don't care about us as people. They care about themselves as a people. That's why you got that Asian hate crime bill passed so fast. Like 2 weeks later, after one dude got killed. Like 2 weeks later, within a month, they got that joint passed. We've been getting murdered out here for hundreds of years.
Right.
And we've been making videos and posts and protests and signing petitions and holding seminars and classes and lectures and marching and you know what I'm saying? Like for the longest, nothing happened. Nothing happened. But we can have this amongst each other. There is a way to do this amongst each other.
That's right. That's right.
Gather together before these days end. Before the Most High is just like, you know what? I've had enough of this.
Right.
And he just gonna, you know, clear the slate. As a people, it's important for us to galvanize the same way that everybody else does amongst their own people. America and Ukraine, they the same people, man. A lot of them Russians and Chinese, a lot of them are the same people too. But like the Russians and Ukraine and the Americans, they the same people. So now they about I ain't trying to conflate that issue because it's time to focus on us.
Right.
It's time to focus on us. They're gonna do what they're gonna do because they just racist, unaliving deviants.
Yeah. Right.
I felt awkward. I don't know how to say that, but keep going, keep going.
Before the day of the Lord anger come upon you.
Before that, let's try to come together. Now, social media is a good platform, so I mean we can at least push it through this also with a lot of brothers and sisters that we normally would not have had contact with. But you can see it's out there. Lord allow, weather permitting, every weekend on damn near every corner in the ghettos, in the hoods, in the barrios, on the reservations that we're also establishing on the reservation as well. But you can find us anywhere. It's not that hard. Mm-hmm. But at least you can find us on social media. That's one benefit for the internet. So go www. Keep going.
Verse 3. Seek ye the Lord, all you meek of the earth.
Seek ye the Lord first, man. Like don't listen, if you want to buy you a lottery ticket, no sweat. Go get that lottery ticket. But don't put all your eggs in that basket. Seek ye the Lord. Seek what the Lord wants for his people. Being Israelites, being so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Lord wants one thing first from us, is to keep his commandments.
That's right.
To follow his covenant that he promised us. So now we'd have to go into the Bible, we'd have to go into these records, into these scriptures to see what the commandments are. Now, a lot of people got issues with understanding and interpreting the Bible. That's why the Lord set up the UPK under Commanding General Yohanan.
That's
so
right.
That we have a source to go to.
Right.
A modern day source. You've been lied to by the Christian church. You've been I don't know what terms I can use for this. You've been blankety blanked by the Catholic Church. Bamboozled. You've been accosted.
Right.
By the Catholic Church. You've been fugazied by the Muslim mosque. You've been taken advantage of by Christianity abroad.
Right.
And Egyptology and Islam and Catholicism and Hinduism and Buddhism and whatever other blanket that people chose to cover themselves under, that did not belong to them. Like you taking hand-me-downs from somebody else that ain't got nothing to do with you. That puts us in a very vulnerable spot. Mm-hmm. Not just you, your children. Not just your children, they children.
Right.
It's something that gets glossed over because again we're in an age in society where we're supposed to just open up our hearts. It's all about light and love. Light and love. What the hell does that even mean?
Right.
We got lights. We love our people.
That's right.
So shouldn't that fit the requirements? But I guess not, because we don't love our oppressor. We don't shine a light on them. I don't get exactly what a lot of them are talking about. That's a discussion for them. While we Zephaniah 2:1 the hell out of this. All right, read the rest of that.
Verse 3, seek ye the Lord, all you meek, Salaki, all you meek of the earth, which have, how you pronounce that? Were his judgment,
Wrought.
his judgment,
Which means brought on his judgment. Was that the end of it?
seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
And that's something that, again, because of Christianity, Catholicism, Islam, all these other ideologies, theologies, there's a stigmatism. There's what's the word I'm looking for? Practices. There's a superstition. That's the word I'm looking for. There's superstition involved in their belief systems. That if you do this, this, and this, the universe will open up, and you're just gonna open your heart and your third eye until it becomes a peephole. Shout out to the Book of Dan. And people, like, they eat that up. They eat that up when the world don't work like that. Whatever you want to call it, karma. You moving on to the next one, Corinthians.
I got 1 John.
All right, yeah, no swear. All right, yeah.
Chapter 2, verse 19.
You're right. That's the one that we're gonna get next. All right, bet. So you got a lot of people, again, with a lot of ideologies, and they think that they're gonna make life better across the human race with light and love, with flashlights and Valentine's Day. I don't get it. I don't know what proposal they're trying to introduce, because we've heard so many of them, and they all damn near disagree with each other, because there's limitations here, there's limitations there. You got to negotiate over here, you got to make considerations over there. When these scriptures, when this ordinance was put in place, it was very black and white. It's very cut and dry. We do not allow physical space invaders to abide,
right?
According to the Bible, that's not something that we allow. That's not something that the Lord allows. But if you're in this oppressor's hierarchy, you can buy your way out of it. You can literally buy your way out of jail, unless they need a scapegoat. So I mean, you had like Epstein and what's that one dude name? Damn. They've had a number of scapegoats that, again, were part of their little circle, part of their little club, that all of a sudden, they got a heart attack or car crash or a piano dropped on their head that said Acme on the side, whatever it was. They cover up, they try to sweep under the rug their own messes. And we all know this to be true. We don't need to be conspiracy theorists to understand that human trafficking is a real thing. That Pizzagate is like, that actually happened. That the thousands of missing brothers and sisters, children, by the way, on the border cities in them cages in that detention center went up missing miraculously. Like, all of a sudden you can't account for them. And that's, there was no uproar. There was no oppressors, citizens uproar about their oppressed captives, missing persons. If I'm saying that politically correct enough. And it's so crazy that we got to tiptoe around these words.
Right.
But that's just the society that we live in. And I think, well, never mind what I think. The Bible says before. It's like, all right, you got that in John, 1 John? All right, go get it. The Bible says something different than what we've been traditionally taught. To put our brick in as a people.
That's right.
We need to galvanize as a people. We need to separate ourselves as a people. And we need a focus. We need a laser focus as a people. Because they ain't gonna do it for us.
Right.
As many Section 8 housing programs that they start, as many WIC programs and TANF and food stamps and vouchers and rental assistance that they've tried to provide for us, that it's not gonna heal what we've lost.
Right.
It's not gonna bring that back. It's not gonna bring that back. Damn, what's that brother name? Whistle at a woman. Whistle at a woman. Emmett Till. That brother, man.
Well, it's like allegedly.
Allegedly.
But it never happened.
Allegedly.
The bitch, Caroline Bryant.
Female dog. Female dog. Don't lie to them. And you even got Israelites hesitant to try to bring her to charges because she old, because she ailed. They don't want to serve no justice to her.
Right.
They don't, but at the same time, that same judicial system, they're not going to hesitate to bring German war criminals against the so-called Jews to justice.
So like, if I could,
Can
come on, can you hold what you got, right? Can I get Deuteronomy 28 and 48?
Oh shit, here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
And my last one, really where I want to hit on is verse 50. So Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. You got it? Yeah. You got it. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, 48. Therefore shall thou. 48, verse 48. Therefore shall thou serve thy enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Right. Black and Hispanic and Native Indians shall serve the enemies that the Lord is going to send against us. Read it again. It's a lot.
Verse 48. Therefore shall thou serve their enemy.
We shall serve our enemies. Right. In captivity. Keep going.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Right. So which the Lord has sent against thee. The thee is Israel.
Right. That's right.
The reason why the Lord has sent our enemies against us is because we were against the Most High.
Right.
Just like as a nation of people, we are still against the Most High. That's why all the tragedies are happening to us right now. Okay? Just a while ago, actually Salaki, just last week, all right, a child in St. Paul in middle school transferred to a new school in St. Paul, and on his first day he got stabbed to death by another student. You know how rare that is? You know what I mean? Well, it's not even rare, it's just you don't hear that a lot in St. Paul, but a middle schooler. First of all, my question is, what is a child doing with a weapon? You may ask. Look where we live at. Look at the place that we are in as far as the condition. We are in hell. Keep going.
In hunger and in thirst.
In hunger and in thirst, meaning you have no literal food, nor do you have resources. Keep going.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. Do you know what
man, the tent city is. We have, I mean, there are tent cities all over the earth. Nakedness, man, you are just scraping up everything to clothe yourself, to keep yourself with some type of shelter for you and your family. Keep going.
And in all one of all things.
And all in one of all things. You need everything because everything has been taken away from you.
That's right.
Keep going.
And he shall put a iron, Salaki, put a yoke of iron upon their neck.
Right, so back then, we used to have a yoke of iron around our neck. What was the purpose of that? So if you were trying to escape, it would be hard because this big piece of metal is around your neck. So you can't get too far.
So like if I could just add on to that point too, like again, being a blacksmith, like looking at the images that they had, I mean, they had these barbs extended, like looking
out.
like branches out from you. So like if you were to run, like you get caught up on like anything. So, like,
quickly, yeah. So that yoke of iron right now is Christianity.
That's right.
Wherever you go, wherever you are in life, Christianity rules your life. It destroys you. Islam, wherever you go, them drugs, the alcoholism, all of those things is the yoke of iron today.
Right.
Keep going.
And it all want Salakia. Until he have destroyed thee.
Until he has destroyed thee. That's how you know that's the yoke of iron today. In 2023. Being a whore, being a sodomite, you know, the drug, I mean, man, the lying, the stealing, the killing, Salakia. The lying, the stealing, and the, you know, unaliving of yourself and others. Keep going.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
Right, keep going.
From the end of the earth.
From the end of the earth, keep going.
As swift as the eagle fly.
Now, if anybody knows anything about the history of America and all the other captivities, they have one thing in common, the eagle. That lets you know who is specifically speaking about. It's not talking about an actual eagle, but it's giving you a symbol. It's giving you a metaphor.
That's right.
What the eagle represents. And that is your oppressor. So Most High is sending that oppressor against you. Keep going.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Right. We do not understand this oppressor. Keep going.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce
countenance.
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 All right. So what that fierce countenance is that, okay, first things first. Let's get what countenance means again. All right, let's see. Let me see. Here we go. 1 second. Countenance, a look or expression, mental composure, calm composure, face or the face. So example would be a face as an indication of mood, emotion, or character. So fierce countenance, as you know, think about the police, how they act towards Black, Hispanic, Native Indians. It's very fierce, very aggressive. It has a sense of hatred. All right, every time that they approach you and kill you or murder you, their attention, their countenance is fierce. It's not good. It's not welcoming. It's very fierce.
Con.
Keep going.
Which shall not regard the person of old.
Which shall not regard the person of old. Keep going.
Nor show favor to the young.
Nor show favor to the young. So back onto what the brother's point was, you know, when it comes to our oppressors, everybody gives them mercy. No matter if you are man, woman, or child.
Right.
No matter your age. But when it comes to the Israelites, when it comes to the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian children, man, woman, or child, you have no regard at all. How do we know? Abortion.
Right.
I mean, no one gives a damn about your life. right? To the point where Margaret Sanger, in 1921, the same year of the death of Black Wall Street, she was with, she was working with the eugenics program, and that was a whole operation business to destroy Black and Hispanic Native Indian babies, to kill them. Now let's go to the old. You got man, you got old grannies who's getting killed out here.
That's right.
I just saw a video where they arrested a old lady because she didn't pay her $70 trash bill, and they arrested her. Like, they have no regard nor show favor to us. So next time that you wondering why we say that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, that's why. I just gave you a clear example. So I digress. It's like, you want to say something? Go on.
Oh yeah, I know so about the heatheness. They show more compassion for the devil than they do our people.
Absolutely.
Like, they don't care nothing about us.
Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, one thing that you should know about your oppressor is they don't have no mercy.
Right, right.
So don't expect it.
Right, that's right.
All right. But yeah, it's like that. I digress. So like.
I can't wait. Clap it up for that one. Because again, there was a target. There was a target.
Right.
So along with that Margaret Sanger thing, the right before and in conjunction with eugenics, the sterilization.
Oh yeah, absolutely right.
The sterilization.
Yeah.
Of our sisters. Hysterectomies that were performed without consent.
Oh yeah.
Along with amongst a vast majority of the people that were propositioned, of the sisters that were propositioned with that program, a lot of them they were not told what was going on. They did not give consent to the procedure. They were taken advantage of. A lot of them coming out of the prison systems too.
Right.
And they had modeled that after alley cats. The alley cat.
Like
What? So they had looked at the epidemic or the epidemic of alley cats, and like all of them having, you know, crap ton of kittens, and you know, just a big litter spread across all over the place. They had equated that to our so-called Latin sisters, so that they would not be able to produce. Right. What do they always say at the end of The Price is Right? Have your pets spayed and neutered.
Yeah. That
was the philosophy with our people, so that we would no longer produce.
Yeah.
See, so in a sense, it kind of progressed from them, like in Pharaoh day, in Moses day, from them attacking all the males to cut off the population, to cut off the reproduction, to them actually making the women sterile. Like, and it wasn't, they didn't do that to the so-called Chinese. They didn't do that to the so-called Japanese.
Right.
They may have done some test trials on some people, but as a nation, they did not mess with them like that.
Right.
Because again, they've got another superpower behind their back.
Right.
Who do we got backing us up? The Native Indians, we don't have an army. Puerto Rico, we ain't got an army. Mexico, we ain't got an army. We got cartels. They don't care. They criminals too.
Right.
Like, well, whatever would make them money. I mean, they on a selfish tip right now. They still Issachar. They still brothers.
Right.
It, just like with a lot of the South American families, organizations, conglomerates, affiliations, things like that. Like they separate themselves from being the people.
Right.
They're not focused on like Zephaniah 2:1, gather together, own nation, not desire. They're just looking out for themselves. Argentina don't care about Brazil like that. Guatemala don't care about Uruguay like that. know what I'm saying? Like it's the how would I say the repercussions of the divisions that they have placed between us. It was successful. The rewards and the benefits that they had given to the people that had defected and supported their programs. Again, it was successful. It worked. So they got all these divisions within a nation of people that don't belong here. But we're not galvanized as a people.
Right. That's right.
So we don't have that same control over each other, over over the outside influences that we're constantly being bombarded with. We don't have control to keep that out because we're already integrated. That integration got us killed, man. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago too, during the start of Black History Month, during the beginning of February. And also, I think even we touched on this during Valentine's Day. Integration killed us. Integration got us killed.
That's right.
Segregation kept us alive. Segregation would have prevented Dylan Roof storm. And it would have motivated, again, our people to put that brick in. Instead of having to hear, reports of sabotage and betrayal. We would have heard more reports of success and foundations being built that were not supported by Martin Luther King Jr.'s and Al Sharptons and Eddie Longs and Jesse Jacksons, people that are gonna tuck tail and run at the first sign of trouble, or that are already undercover sellouts. Like Martin Luther King Jr., he was an undercover sellout.
That's right.
He was in the media, he was on the news, he was in the papers, front page on everything, being a spokesperson for the cause. But when he goes back to that hotel room, I mean, we seen what the reports, detail. All right, so you still got 1 John?
Yeah, 1 John, chapter 2, verse 19.
Yep, let's get that.
1 John, chapter 2, verse 19. They went out from us.
So now these people, in the spirit of putting your brick in, you got different. All right, so now this is another, and I'm glad we got back to this. The ISUPK not being affiliated with any organization. If you're part of an organization, you're gonna put your brick in for that organization, for their beliefs, for their standards, for their principles, for their mission statement. You're gonna put your brick in for their cause, what their ideology is. When you're supposed to put your brick in, if you're an Israelite at least, you're supposed to put your brick in for Israel, for the kingdom of God. Keep going.
But they was not of us.
Read that from the top.
Verse 19. They went out from us.
So like at one point they were kind of here, but they went out from us. Go ahead.
But they was not of us.
So in reality, they were never with us. Even though, all right, so they rocked some boots. They put on some boots. They put on some all black. They wore proper fringes, not tzatziki sauce. They didn't put fringes on their pajamas. They didn't put fringes on their t-shirts. They actually try to wear it honorably, concerning like the priest's office and our garments. At least for maybe a time, like while they were with us, like it seemed like they were doing good, but they went out from us, but they were not of us. Keep going.
They would no doubt have continued with us
But they went.
It's like start back from well, just bring from the top. Bring from the top again.
Verse 19. They went out from us, but they was not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us.
They would be in this room right now.
That's right.
In Twin Cities.
That's right.
They would be there in that room right now in Milwaukee. They
Right.
would be there in that room right now in Chicago, in Washington, in Houston, in Dallas, in Miami, in LA, in Sacramento, in Canada. They would be there in Brazil. They would be there in Puerto Rico, in Mexico, in the DR, in Haiti, in Jamaica. They would be there in the UK. They would be there in Philly, in New York, everywhere. They would be there instead of, again, you've heard the reports.
Right.
You've heard the reports, and you know we're gonna. Well, I don't want to tie this scripture necessarily into their bad reputation because it's not necessarily the same thing, but we would have heard good reports of it instead of getting a sister murdered because they married her onto a heathen, instead of locking some brothers up on some false charges. That's not putting your brick in, by the way. I don't know. You know, just because you declare yourself as a bishop, you like dude declared himself as a bishop. Nobody gave him that title, as far as I know. No, ain't nobody said, "Hey, yada yada name, you now a bishop. Go wear purple and do your own thing." And while you're at it, being a New York police detective, go arrest some brothers, on some trumped up charges. Go stick them in Rikers Island, of all places. Like it wasn't they weren't on like some country club, you know, white collar resort prison. They was in Rikers Island, bro, in Gen Pop. Go stick them there for a year. Go mob on some other Israelite groups that you're not affiliated with and try to punk them off the block and get violent with them. Go try to punk them on social media. Go try to embarrass them on your own accord on social media. Go promote well, what's the word? Or what's the common phrase that we can use now? Go promote unauthorized physical activity amongst minors,
Right.
amongst your congregation of people. You know, that's not putting your brick in. That's like literally taking your brick out. And again, you're putting your brick into this building. You're putting your brick into that organization. That's not this. That's not this. And we need to be very aware and diligent about keeping that away from us, from the people that, so the people that they claim that they love, they put in danger.
Right.
We can't make that mistake. Because there's an authenticity in the Bible with Yahushua and them disciples, with Elijah and Nehemiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel, with David and with Solomon and with Jonathan and with Joshua and even with Saul in the beginning.
Right.
But before the brother got consumed with that jealousy.
Right.
Even with Saul, though, there's a sincerity that we have as a people that got lost because we wanted assimilation, we wanted integration, and you took your brick out of this kingdom to build up theirs. Sir?
I found that precept for you.
Baba Kusha. Baba Kusha.
Can you get Ezra the 4th chapter?
It's like before you get that, finish reading this.
That they might be made manifest, that they was not of us.
There needs to be the stringent line. Yeah, go get the next one. Yep. There needs to be this stringent line. This very, very black and white. This white, like, you know, like you got the battlefield, you got the moat, you got the castle. Like, there needs to be that wide of a gap in between us and them. That line needs to be very clear, very concise. Otherwise, again, you're gonna have to negotiate on terms. Well, all right, can 15, 14, 16, can we agree on 15? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to negotiate on terms, on what you're gonna allow, like the lines that you're gonna cross, like the age of consent. 15 can, you know, some places are 16. You know, this other state, they saying, you know, 14. Some of them are even saying dogs. Like,
I was going to say, California, almost like in other states, lower than 14.
And they
11, 12.
And all right, and so that there was even, I've heard some other crazy claims that do need to get fact checked. Some things I believe I even had wrong. Is I think it was concerning California also, the way that they had worded the law that they had introduced into it, as far as not having to have the
Consent.
and not just the consent, but like even after that part got broke, not only the consent, but like statutory offenses that the perpetrator would not have to register as
an offender.
I believe that was the amendment that maybe I have worded wrong in the beginning, but there's still like that 10-year gap. Like things get a little, again, all these accommodations that you got to make when the Bible makes it very clear.
Right.
The Bible is probably the cleanest.
Right.
Like just black and white. This is right. This is wrong.
Right.
That's right.
This is about as clean cut as it gets.
Right. Yeah.
Ain't no confusion in this.
Right.
And if you are confused, it's because of what's again been propagated by other factions, other organizations that were not of us. Because if they were of us, they would have remained with us. You would have seen them here. They would have been the ISUPK before the ISUPK was established. Again, it didn't have to be ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. It didn't have to be ISUPK established in 1969, what was 125th Street, Harlem, New York. It could have been blippity bloppity bloop established in 17 blobbity blah back in blobbity blobbity blah. It could have been that, but it wasn't. And if anything, if any gold comes out of that, it's the fact that we get to see the difference between then and what we have here now. The brotherhood and sisterhood that we have here now, that is according to the Bible, versus what the churches have constantly pushed us on.
Right.
We get to see the difference.
Right.
We get to live the difference. We get to experience that amongst each other. If any good came out of this, that prolonged time, we were living it here and now. We get to see it now. Because for the longest, that church had the rule. You couldn't say nothing against them without being persecuted, put to death almost on sight. You couldn't say nothing against it. The Bible got something to say against it. Yeah.
The book of Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1. Ezra. Now, when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity built the temple unto the Lord God of Israel. Verse 2.
So now when they had gone to build the Lord's temple, not Baal's temple, not Moloch's temple, not the temple of Remphan and Chiam and or Chittimer or whatever the hell they say. Now, not the temple of Buddha,
Right.
Sure as hell wasn't that.
Right.
It was the Lord's temple, the Lord God of Israel, the God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It was our God, the power that was reported in these records that were given to Israel. So this is part of our history. Read that from the top, brother.
Chapter 4, verse 1. Now, when the adversary of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of captivity built the temple unto the Lord God of Israel.
God forbid, being some brothers that are in captivity, you get caught restoring the nation of Israel, restoring the kingdom of God, rebuilding brotherhood, rebuilding sisterhood, which comes in the fold with when you're doing labor for the Lord. When we having these cookouts, when we doing the clothing drives, the food drives, when we doing the drug rehabilitation programs, the GD programs, the prison programs, the labor that's involved that builds brotherhood is something that they would love to destroy. I almost don't even know how to put that into words unless you've actually put in work with somebody, even if it's on the job. Like if you feel that camaraderie, like that teamwork, like accomplishment, you set out to do something, you put all your energy, all your time and exhilaration into it, and you achieve that goal. That's what we doing here, that they tried to keep us from, that they try to press us even further for. Keep going, Salah.
Verse 2. Then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers, and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your God, as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the day of Asher had done.
So now you got this other group of people that wanna that want to just be there in the moment. Like I was there too. Like that's kind of the same feigned empathy that they had back then that they shared now. Just like, again, if you've ever seen that video of that brother, and again, I understand the brother that was crumping. I understand the brother.
Right.
I don't agree with it. I understand it though. His sentiment behind his performance, his peaceful protest against the murder of George Floyd.
Right.
But then you had little little Miss Thing over there.
Right. Miss Becky.
Little Miss what happened, whack? You had her on the side. Whatever the hell you want to consider that. I don't know if that was supposed to be a compliment. I took it as a mockery.
Right. That's right,
brother, man. I thought that was garbage.
Right.
I thought that was a complete damn joke.
Right.
I don't even know if they knew each other. I think bro went out there, did his thing, and the old girl was like, I can do that. I want to be part of the moment too.
Right.
I don't know, man. But you had this other nation trying to do the same thing at that point too. Now, this is not the only time that they've tried to align with us. Heathen nations trying to align with us to gain benefits. To how would I say it? To gain a sympathetic ear, to gain an ally, with or without a perceived ulterior motive. This ain't the first time, it wasn't the last time. But this is one instance way back then. Read that part from the top about how they came in.
Now, when the adversary of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of captivity built the temple unto the Lord God. Verse 2. Then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers, and said unto them, let us bear with you.
So now it started off with saying the adversaries of Judah. The adversaries. Then, after they heard about this, then they came unto the king and said, hey, let us build with you. Keep going.
For we seek your God.
We seek your God. Maybe they was tired of Baal and again Remphan and Cheam and the Chiapets and Zordon and Zoltan, whatever the hell they had going on back then. All the different horoscopes and Mars and Mercury and all stargazes. I mean, this is well before the Greco-Roman era, but they still had, you know, very earthly, very carnal deities.
Right.
So and because again we've had a history of our God being so close to us, our involvement with the power that chose us as a people, our devotion towards Him, our sacrifices, our commitment, our actions in honor and in worship of our power, being idolized because that love was reciprocated, being idolized by heathen nations. So even while we were in captivity, rebuilding the Lord's temple, these bastards wanted to try to infiltrate that too.
Right. They
wanted to try to know our God, so that they can they can be part of that covenant that our people are trying to just give away to everybody.
Right.
Like, you know, I can only compare that to just the concept of free love. That like everybody's deserving, everybody, you know, you're supposed to open your heart again, light and love, light and love. You're gonna have to give some light and love to Jeffrey Dahmer and Adolf Hitler and Attila the Hun and Ted Bundy and all these other serial killers. Dylan Roof Storm.
Yeah.
You know, they gave him some light and love when they brought him through the drive-through before they brought him to prison.
Right.
They didn't do that for J-Rock. You know, that they got them doing some gang banging dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't get at the end, but they get at the some devil that shot up our people's church, reloaded and then reshot. That dude in Buffalo still alive.
Hates me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dude.
It's his last name, so
I can never remember his name,
yeah,
but he's still alive. Tyrone dead though.
Right.
They murdered Tyree Nichols. They murdered him because they shared that badge, because they put their brick in with that fraternity.
Right.
They put their brick in with that fraternity.
Right.
And they murdered a brother. That was an actual brother. You know, they probably did some unseemly things to gain that fraternity recognition and those lifelong connections that are gonna, you know, get you forever fired from the police force and ostracized from that fraternity. Because I guess they had soon afterwards they had cut their affiliation with them. They had banned them, or they kicked them out the fraternity. They ain't no longer fraternal brothers no more. Sci-fi, gotta, whatever the hell that was. You know, clappity clap.
Right.
You know, that's done and over with. Because they put their brick in with that society. When we got something so powerful to tap into. We got something so precious and so sacred and so separate from everybody else. that we're afraid to submit ourselves to. We're afraid to align ourselves to what's the word? Affiliate. We're afraid to affiliate with our power. While everybody else walks around with our records, with our identity, with our covenant, acting like it's theirs, and they get to rule the world with it.
Right. Right.
And they get to lie on the Bible. And they get to lie on the Most High. And they get to lie on the Israelite culture. And we get to slam back 211s. And we get to overdose on fentanyl. And we get to fill up the missing persons posters, the poster boards in every grocery store and corner store and website. And we get to commit suicide at alarming rates compared to all the other populations. And they get to steal our brick. And all these other organizations that, again, walk around with this book, with these records, donning Israelite attire. They get to steal our brick. And we forget what it's like to have peace amongst each other, to have unity. Because again, everybody else is talking about it. It's supposed to be all peace and love and light, unity, and everybody's supposed to just gather together and hold hands across America, across the globe. And you know, what about these other people? What about the South Koreans? What about the Ukrainians? What about all these other nations that they mentioned too? Never stop hating you in the midst of their troubles.
Right.
They didn't miss a beat. And we still giving them all of our money in all of our neighborhoods that we don't control any land, any property, any real estate. We don't control no real estate like that the way that they do. Hell no. We might have a couple apartments and a couple acres here and there. No sweat. That they still occupy. And they haven't given up. Again, they haven't forgotten. It's like, before I keep on going with this, so was that the end of that, Kwan?
No.
All right, keep going. Keep going.
As ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him.
It's like, read that verse from the top. Just to refresh it.
Verse 2. Then they came to Zerubbabel, and to the chief of the fathers, and said unto them,
our oppressors came unto these kings, unto the chiefs of the fathers.
Right.
Keep going.
Let us bear with you.
Let us build with you. Keep going.
For we seek your God.
We want to be a part of this too. You know, we want to be there too. I want to croak right next to you. Keep going.
As you do, and we sacrifice unto him since the day of Esarhaddon, king of Asher. Asher.
Ashur. Is that how it's spelled? Go on. Ashur.
Asur.
Asshur.
Asur.
All right, so Asur. So that's not. All right, so that's not Asher. All right. Yeah. So like again, the way that they had, not just mocked, but copy and pasted our practices. The way that they had done it before. So like there was a time too, like when their people was getting killed, well not their people, this was a different under the Assyrian captivity. When the people that they had put in place over our land and kingdom had kept on, couldn't stop getting murdered, getting killed by the wildlife, by the bears, by the lions, by the scorpions, by the snakes. You know, that may be an exaggeration, but they couldn't stop being killed by the land. And it was like, you know, how can we overcome this? All right, we better go get them priests that worship this God that ruled over this land and see how they supposed to act. So they gave them some tips, and you know things subsided, and you know they wanted to try to tap into this power. Listen, everybody and their mom is gonna end up serving the Most High.
That's right.
Everybody.
That's right.
Everybody, and it's only ever gonna be done under one umbrella.
Right.
You're not gonna have multiple factions with maybe this, maybe that. And then let's just, you know, come together and see what we can agree about in the middle. It's not going to be that.
Right.
That's why we got so much division and destruction amongst us today. It's because of that theology. It's because of that. Well, let's just try to work together, even though we have competing views, and we've got opposite views and theologies and understandings and beliefs and affiliations. Like. Let's just see how we can blend this together and make this work. So they tried doing that. So again, this is integration. This is maybe 3,000 years ago, a story of integration.
Right.
The civil rights movement, damn near all, like we lived through this again, and we were reading about the damage that this did to us back then. If we would have read this. If Martin Luther King would have read this versus thinking that he knew the Bible, maybe that would have saved him. But again, he never knew the Bible, because if he had dreamed a dream, he would have known that thing was in the scriptures too. Right. But, you know, maybe they skip that in Sunday school. Keep going.
Which brought us up hither. But Zerubbabel and Joseph and the rest of the chief of the father of Israel said unto them, you have nothing to do with us.
So like they battled back. They said, nah, like this ain't for you. And that's what got our people so damn scared right now. They're afraid to not be inclusive. They're afraid to be exclusive. They're afraid to segregate. They're in fear of not integrating. That's what got us into trouble back then. That's what got us into trouble today. That's what got us into trouble in the 50s and 60s when they try to reenact that.
Right.
We were better off separate as a people.
Right.
And if you ask our oppressors in their citizenship, in their hearts, they would agree with that. That they were better off, that they were happier as a people. They didn't want this. They didn't want to meet us in the middle. They didn't want to share the bathrooms, their bubblers, their restaurants, their buses, their neighborhoods, let alone their sons and their daughters with us.
Right.
They didn't want to share that, and we should not have shared that.
That's right.
We should not have wanted to. Just like our forefathers said here too. Nah, like you ain't got nothing to do with us. This ain't for you. This Bible, these records, this thing right here, this is the 1611. If you ain't got this, I was like, you got that. Well, maybe you can get it in Spanish. Maybe you can get that with Spanish. But if you ain't got the 1611, but you got the King James authorized version that does not come with the Apocrypha, you can get that plus the Apocrypha. Otherwise, you can get this and you can read like Shakespeare, and you'll have the King James and the Apocrypha included with that. Our records our forefathers told us that philosophy was garbage, that we were not to let them in these gates, that we were to deny them, that we were to say, read that again, that we were to say, like, we ain't got what?
We have nothing to do.
We ain't got nothing to do.
Right.
It's like, I cut you off mid-sentence, keep going.
Ye have nothing to do with us to build a house unto our God.
Bro, this ain't for you.
That's right.
This ain't for you. This ain't got nothing to do with you. I don't care how inclusive you want to be. I don't care how I don't care how many black friends you got. I don't care how many Mexican friends you got. I don't care how many I don't even want to say that. Watch your relations with the other nations and don't equate that to a bond. Don't let that trick you into some type of like assimilation, like y'all on the same level now, just because y'all done got high with each other,
right,
had physical relations with each other on any platform consideration, however y'all want to define it. I'm so tired. I don't even know how to. Like I don't know how General Muhammad tiptoes so well around these terms.
Right. That's right.
Like it's exhausting just to think of different ways to say it. We need a thesaurus.
Yeah.
We need like a 2023. We need like a 2030 thesaurus, because I can only imagine how much different these terms are going to be transformed.
Right.
In a couple minutes. According to the Bible, there are certain things that are right and there are certain things that are wrong, and we're dealing with a nation of people that do a lot of certain things that are wrong.
That's
to
right.
The Bible.
Right.
Those ain't your buddies.
Right.
Those are people that you did some wrong things according to the Bible with. That's it. And they're trying to claim this heritage, this culture. They're trying to. It's like you got the brick, right? Like it's your brick because you are these people.
Mm-hmm.
It's your brick that they're putting in, but they're trying to sign their name on the side. Like, yeah, it's your brick, but I was here too. Like it cheapens us.
Right.
It does exactly the opposite of what these brothers were trying to do back then too, saying like this ain't got nothing to do with you. Read the rest of that.
But we ourselves together will build unto the Lord our God of Israel.
We ourselves will what?
But we ourselves together will build unto the Lord our God Israel.
But we ourselves together. We ourselves. That wasn't all my Edomite buddies at school in my cipher that I get high with. All the sodomites and effeminates that from other nations, or even within our own nation that we just living and laughing and having fun again with all this light and good faith and weird hand motions that should make anybody feel uncomfortable doing. Salaki to the men above me. Again, all these accommodations that keep on being made for other people that ain't got nothing to do with this. We ourselves talking about our people, that nation not desired.
Right.
We ourselves shall do what? What are we going to do?
But we ourselves together will build unto the Lord our God Israel.
We ourselves together shall build unto the Lord our God of Israel. It's the separation that needs to get made. That's where we put our brick into. That foundation. And again, as these classes keep on going and going and going, tune in anytime. Tune in from the past, tune in the future, tune in from different cities too. Like whatever's around you, check in with them. Every Tuesday's Brotherhood class. Right. Every Wednesday is going to be scripture breakdown law class normally. Thursday is scripture breakdown with General Muhammad.
That's
Make
right.
sure you tune
That's
into that.
right.
Afterwards, stick around for Cross the Line Radio with Captain Stazariak and Captain Katazak. Friday, Lashawan Kodashi. We're going to start learning about the Hebrew language. And there's a lot of history that comes into play with that too. Check that out. Again, No Cowards, Minnesota. You got Bishop Austin Maccabi running that joint in our region. And then again, in all the different cities and zones, you got other brothers teaching different classes, or the different Lashawan Kodash classes in your respective neighborhood. Throw a stone in any direction, and you're gonna find with us. Put your brick in any direction. Like you're gonna find one of us.
Right.
But we got to do this. We have to take up the responsibility and the burden. Again, you're gonna get hated for this. You're gonna get hated for loving your people, and we've talked about this too. You're gonna get hated by these people that are always talking about love and acceptance and tolerance. You're gonna get hated by them same groups and organizations for loving your people.
Right.
For wanting to get your people off of drugs. Now, realistically, we try to get everybody off of drugs because drugs should not exist.
That's right.
Drugs should not exist. But our priority is Israel first. How do they say it? To the Jew and then to the Gentile. And that's just a Christian kind of phraseology for brothers in the truth. Of course, the Jews and the Gentiles is all Israel. So we don't make no separation there. But just from like the Christian perspective, even for their consideration, it's one people first and then everybody else after that. They even acknowledge that it's only for Israel. And then the hierarchy is Israel and then everybody else.
Right.
They understand that according to the scriptures, if they be honest about it.
Right.
They're just they try to make Gentiles and mainly Gentiles, they try to make Gentiles anybody, and more specifically, not Israel. They always try to make Gentiles not Israelites. When again, if you're looking into the context of these records, you can see that breakdown: strangers, Gentiles, foreigners, sojourners, aliens, all those different bywords. You can see in the context of the subject matter who and what it's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to put your brick in, isupk.com.
Right.
We are not hard to find. Every major metropolitan city across the U.S. you can find us. You can find a school. You can find a podcast. You can find a class. It's, North, Central, South America, and the UK. You'd have a harder time not finding us. Just Google ISUPK. It's really that simple. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns about any breakdowns, about any understanding that you might not have, again, call. Like we've got when we're doing the classes live, you can chime in on the class in the chat box. You can ask questions if you got it. You got a gang of different radio shows. Let a Hebrew Speak Monday morning. Great way to start off the work week. Monday morning, Let a Hebrew Speak with General Hazayan Captain Kai. Tuesday, so Wednesday, Boot Up or Shut Up Radio. Angry Black Man Media. What else we got? Inconvenient Truth.
And Truth Revealed every Monday.
Hidden Truth Revealed every Monday. A Black Watch. Cross the Line.
Actually, Priest.
Actually, a Priest.
Let It Be Known.
Let It Be Known.
Speak.
Let Hebrew Speak. Boot Up or Shut Up. Like there's again almost no excuse unless you're living under a rock, unless you're one of those like indigenous isolated communities, something like that don't mess with technology. Even the Amish know who we are, man.
Right.
Even the Amish know who we are. Don't act like they don't watch YouTube either. But you got some populations out there that just don't have internet capability. They ain't got no electricity like anywhere. They don't go outside that little forest clump. No sweat. They self-contained. They are all unto themselves. It's like I don't want to necessarily say that about just anybody. But the truth has been uncovered. The truth is being revealed. We ain't Christians. We ain't Catholics. We ain't Muslims. We're not all these other denominations that don't follow the Bible. We push it to such an extent just that people hate us for it. And we keep that dividing line very crisp and clear to let everybody know what the difference is between us and them. The same way that, again, Yahushua and the disciples did. The same way that Moses did from the Egyptians. The same way that Joshua did when he came into the kingdom, when he came into the land, I should say.
Right.
Against the other nations that were already established. You know what I'm saying? Like when we had to take over our land masses, that they weren't gonna just give it up. I mean, we talking about some detestable heathen demographics that so boastful and prideful they can listen to what the word of the Lord was. So I mean, you know, we had to follow instructions. And
Right.
again, you can get this history in the Bible. Ain't nothing new about it. Have a lot more humanitarian than Hitler. I mean, shit. I don't even know if that's applicable to say. So many things that we got to tiptoe around. But the truth is still there. The truth. If you want to put your brick in, if you want to know the Lord, there's only one place that you can go that's appropriate to go. You can risk it and study on yourself. Listen, Lord be with you. We ain't gonna tell you, you know, not to do this, not to that. If you want to wear purple, bro, wear purple. If you want to wear tassels versus fringes, okay, that's your choice as a. Hopefully, you're making that choice as a grown man and or woman, and or male or female, or cis male or cis female, or whatever pronoun you identify as. Hopefully, you're just make responsible choices. Make good choices. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, again, askupk.com. If you're looking to put your brick in, we got. If you haven't noticed, the ghettos, the barrios, the reservations, as a people, we need some work done.
That's right.
That's right.
There's a lot of good that you can do, despite what you have done in the past. That's why we get that chance to be reborn. You can't be an active drug dealer and serve the Lord.
That's right.
It don't work that way. You can't be, you know what I'm saying? You can't be a drug addict. You can't be an alcoholic and serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a murderer and serve the Lord. Like, you got to change your life.
Right. That's right.
You got to repent from the sins and the crimes that you committed. You got to be born brand new. You got to empty out that old wine bottle in order to fill it back up, man. And it's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take work. That's your brick. And it might not look like much to you at first. But again, you're not alone in this. Your brick next to mine, next to Maccabi, next to Kawan, next to Canaan, next to Kodash, next to Milwaukee, next to Chicago, next to Texas, next to Florida, next to North Carolina, April 1st.
That's
right. Passover. Like put your, that's a right way to put it. Grab your brick, come over to North Carolina, April 1st. Raleigh, North Carolina, April 1st at the Raleigh, North Carolina Convention Center. Take your brick, put it in with ours. See how many we got. See, tell me we can't build something with that.
Right.
Tell me we ain't got a foundation once you see it for yourself in real life. Don't just try to be contentious with us online. Come kick it with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of complaints that people got is because of that militant stance and that battle hardened stance that we take on social media. That's all they know about us, is what they viewed on us on social media.
Right.
That's all that the little bit that they've gleaned off social media is all they know about us. They've never come to just kick it with us in the spirit of brotherhood, in the spirit of sisterhood, to see what it's like at a cookout, to see what it's like on a high holy day, to see what it's like in class, to see what it's like in Purim coming up, and we're gonna get into all this. Slacky Trooper. Can you grab the notebook, the binder? All right, throw we're gonna get into this when we do the security announcements with the holidays coming up. We got Purim coming up. We got Passover coming up. Don't nobody ever accept those invitations to come kick it with us in real life and experience brotherhood and see us outside of a battle mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like they see us ready to go, ready to talk some shit, and ready to hurt some feelings, ready to battle the scriptures, ready to battle the point to the ground. They see us in that light. They never come to see us with brotherhood, with sisterhood. They never come to see us outside of a war zone, whether it's online or whether it's on the corners too. Because again, some of them actually keep that same energy and meet us like that in real life. So some of them actually, no, it's like I'm bullshitting. They all garbage. But some of them actually try to make the attempt to Sadducee and Pharisee their way out of life, and give their best Christian pastor presentation, and try to trip us up. Again, it's always combative. It's never, and as much as they try to say, "Oh, I respect y'all, I love y'all," light and love and kumbaya. As much as they try to feign that garbage, they got we're just slicker than oil. We're just slicker than oil, but they got a sword behind their back.
Right.
Paraphrasing.
Psalm 55, 20 and 21.
Check it out, Preset King, Psalm 55, 20. You know what I'm saying? Words smoother than butter. They got a two-edged sword in their mouth.
That's right.
That's right.
They don't mean you good intentions, but again, that's all. I don't want to give them too much commercial value. Come see us in real life though.
Right.
Come, like, maybe try the approach of kicking it with us in peace, and see what the interaction is then. Everybody trying to bang with us. Come kick it with us. The cookouts are free. The high holy days, I mean, it don't cost you nothing but what you want to put into it.
Right.
If you want to bring a dish, if you want to help cook something, if you want to throw down on a roast or on some steaks or something like that, or some of the food, or even some of the drink, or if you wanted to rent out like a room at a hotel or something like that for the gathering, like, come see us in that light before you judge us all across the board, because we them same brothers from back here in these records that would not let outsiders in, that strictly keep to ourselves, because this is where we need to keep that focus and that attention. And if you're not about that, listen, you about the problem. That's the solution. I ask you, Pecan Commander Johnny Ham, this Bible, these records, this is the solution. If you're not about this, you are about the problem.
Right.
And if that's the case, listen, Lord be with you. Shit, that's all I can offer. All right, so with that, we're going to get into security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters: when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They'll be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ishon. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department of teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. So you can go to isupk.com. The website is revamped, renewed, restored. It's ready to go. You got the ties button, donations that you can demark in the notes, depending on what it's for. The Passover funds, $200 per brother, sister, 17 years or older. So make sure you get that in ahead of time. And if you get in ahead of time, you got free admission to the all black party. Otherwise, if you end up waiting until you pay at the door, it's gonna be like an additional like $25, $30, what is $25 fee for the all black party. So if you get everything in ahead of time, that helps pays for some of the accommodations afterwards. Zelle, if you got the Zelle app, first name Israelite School, last name UPK, email ties@isupk.com. Cash App, for instance, $, all cash, UPK, Minnesota. Any ties money that you want to mark for our region, we can send it up on your behalf. Donations, priest funds, things like that, you can kick it over. Otherwise, get in contact with the school near you, see what their payment system is like, and see what you can contribute to, and if there's any any needs that you might need met. Here we go. Upcoming holy convocations. So like how holy days, holy convocations. So we got Purim coming up March 5th at sundown to March 6th at sundown. Get in contact with the school near you. See what the plans are. See what the travel arrangements are. See where you're going. See what they need. It's important to get involved with that school near you, even if it takes you a little while to travel there. Like again, that's your brick. Put that brick in. Take that brick with you. Passover, April 1st, Raleigh, North Carolina Convention Center. April 1st sundown to April 2nd sundown. Immediately followed up by the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's going to continue for 8 days. Before you leave for that, if you know you're not coming back right away, get all the leavening compounds, chemicals, ingredients out of your house prior to, so that when you come back, your house is clean. And you ain't got to worry about that when you come back. And always check in with the school near you, the bulletin boards, the websites, the local social media platforms that we are all on, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, this, that, and the third, just to keep current with whatever might be going on in that zone. Any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That means your boots, your shirt, your pant, headband, and or scarf. With that, we'll find Slack out Majid, which means stand. We'll find the Akadam, turn your face to east. I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayat, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayat, Aisha, Ba'aratazak, Kawa, Hayat, Bashamayim, Nathun Lanau, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Lanau, Kabawaf now, Salak now, Kabawaf now, Wala'ah, Tabayah now, Banasawan, Abal, Kawashah now, Bayan, Rat, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahata Para, Salakia. Got it? La will love me. I will love me. Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debts. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Pray to bless Israel in the evening. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. Barak Lanau. Wayashala. Wahabayah. Saparian. Barak. Rapa'ah. Magun. Hagun. Now, at this time, you can say the name of a loved one once. Everyone repeats that name once. If you're following us on social media, you can type in the name of a loved one. We'll send the prayers up with you.
The family of Kodasayan.
Family Kodasayan.
Kodasayan.
Kodasayan. Officer Makabi.
Officer Makabi.
Officer Mungabar.
Officer Mungabar.
Kawanyala.
Kawanyala.
Kanagabar.
Kanagabar.
The sisters.
The sisters.
ISUPK Minnesota.
ISUPK Minnesota.
Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
UPK Minnesota.
UPK Minnesota.
All UPK.
All UPK.
All Israel.
All of Israel.
Desiree Davis.
Desiree Davis.
And all the Davis family.
All the Davis family. Jamie. Nicole. Martha Pot. Annalie. Benjamin. The McIntosh family. Raphael. All of Israel.
All Israel.
Bashim Yahushua.
Bashim Yahushua.
Tu'ad
Amun.
In English, Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Bless us and Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Heal.
Shield. Protect. Our loved ones. In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you so be it.
Thank you so be it.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
And evils and curses.
And evil curse.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
That prophets.
The teachers.
That teachers.
The princes.
That princes.
The priests.
That priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
And evils and curses.
And evil and curse.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
And the treasure of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter their sanctuary.
And evils and curses.
To evil and curse.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And the drug dealers.
Court system.
And the court system.
Prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope. Islam.
Christianity.
Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Classical Matizers. The gay movement. Lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. Master Space Program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. Cable access channel. And a radio channel. Convict the spirit. Of any of thy people. That seek to stop us. And bring swift destruction. To all the heathens. That stand in the way. Or try to stop us. From broadcasting your words. Throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief. Let the plague shake the house of the thief. And the murderer. Let Yahushua. Michael and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers. And punish all the heathen. That come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all. That is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake it that come. And then the outshot. Take you always. So be it. Start to the front. Men of Israel, Madim Shabbat, Madim Barak, Yasamatah, hand down. Men of Israel, courtesy salute for the sisters. Madim Shabbat, Madim Barak, Yasamatah, class dismissed.